Hey, what's up everyone? So today we're going to be doing a little install, and we're going to be installing this rear view mirror. So as you know, in the past I've already installed rear view mirrors like on my 240 and stuff like that, but this one's a little bit special. So this one has Android built into it. So the reason why I got this rear view mirror is I was looking for basically a way to get a backup camera in my Geo. It only has a single DIN slot, so getting kind of like a double DIN radio or head unit and then doing a backup camera from there doesn't really work with this car. So I was thinking the next best thing would be a rear view mirror that has the little screen in it. So as I was researching what to get for that, I found these ones that had Android built into it, and I thought that would be a little bit cooler. Still has the functionality of the backup camera when you shift into reverse, and then also has a built-in dash cam here. And so you can also do things like Google Maps on it or different apps and things like that. So I'll talk a little bit more about the pros and cons later. One of the biggest cons with this one is that the internal memory is pretty small, so you're limited in the number of apps that you can install on it. But in general, I think it's going to work out really well. So the first step we need to do is actually just installing this on the mirror, which is going to be really easy, hooking up there. And then there's also a GPS unit, the backup camera that we need to hook up, and then the actual power cord. So a lot of this project will just be wiring everything, but it should be pretty good. So let's get started. Okay, so this is pretty easy to install on the actual mirror. So I'm going to be adding it to my factory mirror. And so as you can see, this kind of rests against the mirror, and then you have these two rubber things that just hold it to the mirror. Just mount this up, these back here, and there we go. That's basically the installation for the actual mirror. So that's super quick. And as I said, a lot of this installation is just wiring the wires to the right places, because as it is, this will work as a mirror now. So let's connect the power, and then I can show you a little bit of the mirror. So all the power is on this mirror is a USB cable to a cigarette lighter. And so what I'm going to be doing later is, for now I'm going to use this one here, but then I'm going to wire it back behind the dash, and I'm going to install another cigarette lighter so I can plug it in there. So whenever the car turns on here, it'll boot up the mirror. Eventually all my wires, I'm going to put them behind here, all the way down, and behind the dash, so then you can't see them hanging out. Alrighty, so this is how a little demo of how the mirror turns on. So we've connected it to power now, and so as soon as it gets power from the engine, it should boot right up, and we see that now. And so kind of can start the timer now. In the past I've seen it takes about 10 to 20 seconds. Alright, so it's all booted up, and it automatically goes to the dash cam and starts recording. And then I'm pretty sure it just keeps recording over itself until something happens, and then you can kind of stop it. So that boots up perfectly now. The next stuff is kind of like the GPS, and that just plugs into the top as well. And then the backup camera plugs into the top as well. And so the backup camera, we're gonna wire this all the way to the rear, connect this, and then this red wire will get power from the reverse lights. And so whenever the reverse lights turn on, this will tell this to switch to the rear view backup cam, and then display it. Then when the reverse light goes off, the camera turns off, and this goes back to whatever else you were doing. Alrighty, so I removed the A-pillar cover here. I'm going to try and see if I can get the wires up into here and then up and all the way through. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I kind of missed that. Basically, I used a magnet to pull it all the way through from the headliner. So the magnet connected to the nut, pulled it all the way through, and that worked awesome. It was super cool. I thought I was gonna have to, like, I don't know what I was gonna do, but with the magnet it just made it super easy. You just pull it all the way over and then you can grab it. So once it was over there, I grabbed all the wires that I need the ends to be over here, and I tied them to my string, and then just pulled through. So now I'm gonna be connecting the sun visor back up so I can make sure that the wires aren't blocking it in any way. And then I'm going to run the wires down the A-pillar and start connecting everything. Okay, got that back up. Let's connect the wires and then screw this all back on. Alrighty, and got that on. So as you can see, there's kind of like minimal wires showing here, which is nice. I can even tuck them up a little bit more behind the post for the rear view mirror. And it's all wired up. So now that we got this running through here, I'm gonna go down, pull it all through behind the dash so that the wires can be completely concealed behind that A-pillar cover. And then start running some of the wires all the way to the rear and some of the wires up into the front here. So power will go up here, GPS will probably stay right up here towards the front, and then the rear view camera will have to go all the way to the rear. Just gonna be making the wires go up like this and all the way down to that hole, so then it goes behind the dash. So let's get some of these threaded down there. Okay, all those wires are in the A-pillar and going down here now. So let's get this cover back on, and then we can put the GPS right up here. And I'll need a test to make sure that this orientation is actually okay. It doesn't need to like face forward or something. All right, got this. So checking the GPS now for the position of it, which is over there. So I don't know if it needs to like face forward or backwards or whatever, so I'm gonna test that out now. All right, so there's just 3M double-sided tape on this. So I got the wires all tucked, and now I'm gonna mount it up right here. All right, got that on, got this on. And so now the next thing we need to do is wire the rear view camera all the way to the back. Okay, so with the rear view camera, basically I'm gonna run it along this channel here, all the way to the rear. And then we'll move back to the trunk and then get it kind of like out of the car and mount it on the back of the hatch. Alrighty, ran off to get some trim removal tools. It'll save all your connectors, so yeah, I suggest these instead of using a crowbar like I was trying to do. So here we are on the taillight now. So this is the reverse light here, which is a solid red wire on my car. And then I follow it back, and it's the solid red wire back here. So what I'm gonna do is splice the camera connection into that red wire so that whenever the light turns on, it will send power to the camera, and then it will turn on the rear view mirror. Okay, so here's the actual rear view mirror. I'm gonna mount it up right here on the back, and then bend it down. So this will bend down like this, and I just want to get it right in the middle. Then we can connect it all up. And guide the wire maybe back behind the license plate and then down. It's probably the best option. So I'm gonna get something to wipe this off real quick so that this will stick better. Okay, so this is how it looks. So let me go ahead and flip the car on to boot it up. So let's see if we can focus. Okay, it's definitely going to be hard to focus on it because it's, there we go, a mirror. And I'll do a little review after this, but it's pretty good actually. In the sunlight, it's more of a mirror than it is the tablet, which is better because you want to be on the safe side rather than seeing the tablet all the time. Okay, so here is the tablet. It's booting up the dash cam. So we got that. Oh, it looks like we got the reverse camera too. So when I go into reverse, camera switches to reverse mode, full screen. And when it's not, you can see the dash cam, the back cam, and the front cam, which is awesome. This is actually super sweet. So again, going into reverse, it switches right over and I can see what's behind me. It's pretty quick. So ready, switch, and it switches off, off. So that is the rear view camera install. As you can see, I got the wires all tucked up behind there. You can still see some of the wires here. I'm gonna fix that, and I gotta get that up there. But overall, pretty unnoticeable. You can see the GPS unit there. Again, I'm gonna tuck this behind the dash sometime soon, and no wires running down the edges. So overall with this thing, it's pretty sweet. As I said, the pros and cons are basically cons. Doesn't have a ton of storage space, so you can't install many apps. This is Google Maps, boots up and does the GPS right away. So that's pretty cool, and shows current location and stuff like that. So I'll have to show current location, whatever. You can trust me that it works. Don't want to give away my address. And yeah, so that's about it. You can load up YouTube. I'm not sure if I'm connected to Wi-Fi or not right now. Yeah, it doesn't look like I am, but basically I'm gonna use my phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot all the time, and then this will have internet. So going back to the dash cam, and there it is. So thanks so much for tuning in. That was the install of the rear view camera and rear view mirror with Android tablet. Pretty fun little thing to have. I'm actually very happy with it. It was like $100. I'll have a link in the description, and overall it turned out pretty good. So thanks so much for watching. I'll have another video next week, and go ahead and like and subscribe. See ya.